On this episode of Cashed Out Cars, we look at a brake rotor, I put up a top, and we look at a car that I bought that does not have pop-up headlights. Well guys, it's been a long time coming, but I finally bought another car, and it's another Miata. So I've been looking for another car for quite some time now, and I was between getting another two-seater or getting something like a wagon that was practical. And as you could see, it's summertime and I went with another two-seater. So this right here is the new Miata that you'll be seeing on the channel a lot. This one is a 99 that has a lot of options, which I'll be going over. I did just pick this up yesterday, and this is sort of going to be me going over what's wrong with the car and what it needs and showing this car off to you guys. So I'm super excited about it. This thing's going to be a perfect project on the channel here, and I can't wait to get it back to its glory days, get it all cleaned up, and get it all ready to go. Before we get too far into this video, this car does need a name, so let me know down below what you think I should name this car. Now let's start to go over what this car needs and the condition that it's in. So body-wise, this car is actually very, very good. It has a few small dings and it definitely needs a detail. It has fine scratches over basically the whole thing. Right now it is covered in pollen. It has a little bit of sap and stuff like that on the hood, so it needs a detail. It needs to be cleaned up. But in terms of dents and dings, there are only a few really small areas on the car that need attention. And I think they're over here. It has a small ding right here. It has a couple really small ones in the door. But overall, the body on this car is really, really nice. The rockers also seem to be super solid. I need to wash this thing off because it is dirty right now, and that will show the true condition of the rockers and of the fenders, but they feel super solid. It feels really nice compared to a lot of NBs that I took a look at, and I'm really happy with the condition of this car. Taking a look underneath, and I know it's hard to see here, the suspension is all also in really, really good shape, especially for being up here in New England where everything really rusts out. So I'm really happy about that. Also, this car does have a Torsen diff. I'll go over some of the options that this has. It has the popular equipment package, so it has power steering. It has the leather package, so it has the tan leather seats. It has a Torsen. It has power mirrors. It has power locks, and it has power windows. The power windows are super slow and need a little bit of a refresh, but it's something that I'm looking forward to cleaning up on this car and just making it work how it should. Still has the stock NB wheels on here. These are the sportier wheels that are 15-inch, and this thing does have almost brand new tires on it. Moving along to the interior, this thing needs a pretty serious clean. It has a lot of stuff in the carpets. There is quite a bit of mildew and buildup and dirt on stuff, so I'm going to go through and detail this whole thing. This driver's seat, does have some rips right here. So I'm trying to decide if I want to put new covers on this or try to fix these seats, but we're going to be refreshing this thing and making it pretty much like new. A plan for this car is to do a ton of nice detail videos showing you how I'm going to clean everything up and revive it back to pretty much perfect condition. So I think you guys will enjoy that. They're going to be super satisfying to watch, and I'm looking forward to making those videos. This car does have a stick-on wood grain kit that's sort of all throughout the interior. Let me know down below what you guys think of that. I'm sort of on the fence. I'm thinking about trying to remove it, but also it's probably going to be pretty challenging, but I want to hear from you guys what you think. Also, it does have pinstripes on the car right now, and I'm also on the fence about those. I'm thinking of probably taking those off so the car is just solid black, but let me know what you think about these pinstripes. Moving on to the top here, it does need a top. It's all ripped up, so that's not going to be a big deal. Once again, I'm also on the fence about if I want to go tan or black with the top. Again, I want to hear from you guys what you think, but I don't know, I'm almost leaning towards tan, even though normally I don't really like tan tops, just so it's different from my other car and so it matches the interior. But we'll see. I'm still on the fence. No final decision has been made with that. Moving on, I could show you guys the engine bay. So once again, this thing needs a pretty deep cleaning in here. We have quite a bit of mold and mildew buildup, But I think once I go through and detail this engine bay, it's going to look great, and I'm going to be putting out a really nice detailed video on how to clean up your engine bays at home and do a really good job with it. So right now, this thing does have a leaky valve cover. It probably just needs a gasket and then that will be fixed, but you could see oil coming up onto the valve cover. Once again, that needs a clean. It could use a radiator because this radiator is just starting to turn green, which is a sign that they're turning brittle. I actually got this car as a not running project. I initially thought that it needed a starter because that's what it was listed as. When I tried to start it, when I looked at the car, it wouldn't start, so I sort of bought it on a whim and just assumed that I would be able to get it started. And actually, I have got this car started, but I haven't exactly found out why it wasn't starting. With that said, I need to go through the wiring on the starter loop and make sure everything's tight and make sure nothing's corroded so this car won't leave me stranded. That is another thing that I could cover on this channel here if you want to see it. When I did get this thing started up, I did start to smell fuel, and we actually smelled fuel when we picked this car up, and it turns out that it has a leak back at the fuel filter. I'm assuming I'm going to need to replace those rubber lines and the filter, but that's not a big deal, and it's something that I actually just did on my NA over here, so I'm pretty familiar with doing that, and it shouldn't be a problem to do that on this NB. It does have that ding right there in the front bumper, which I'll be cleaning up. And like I said, I'm really looking forward to basically reviving this car and bringing it back to super nice, basically stock form. And then after that, I'll have to decide what I want to do with it. This car did also come with the original owner's manual and some brochures, which is really awesome to see. I love it when people keep that stuff with their cars. And this car did just have quite a bit of maintenance done. It does have very new tires that were put on in 2016. It has new rotors and pads front and rear, which actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a clip of it, but they're really hardly even broken in, and I could still see the scuff marks on the surface there, so that is really awesome. It also had the timing belt and water pump done in 2016, and it had a complete fluid flush for literally everything: differential, transmission, oil, antifreeze, all at once, so it's pretty fresh. Now, this car hasn't really been driven that much since 2016, so all of that has very low miles on it, but I'm still going to go through and do an oil change, inspect everything, and make sure this car is good to go. And with all that, that's pretty much going to wrap up this little overview on this car. One thing I didn't talk about is mileage, and that's something that I want to have a little bit of fun with. So I'm doing a little bit of a giveaway. Guess down below what mileage this car has on it, and the closest person a week after this video is posted will get a Cashed Out Cars sticker pack shipped to them for free. So have fun with that. I'm really happy with the mileage, and that's all I'll say about this car. With all that said, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I hope you stick around for lots more Miata content here on Cashed Out Cars. As a little extra here to wrap up this video, this is a time lapse of the road that I drove home on when I was towing this Miata. I really wish I was driving this Miata on it because this road is absolutely awesome, and I'm definitely going to go back with these cars with either my NA or my NB or both at different times because this was just a sweet road. Anyway, if you like this video and you want to see more about the Miatas that I have on this channel and the other things that I do with cars, feel free to go check out my Patreon. I post all of my content right when I'm done editing there, and I also post sneak previews and a bunch of additional content that you wouldn't normally see here on the channel. With all that said, once again, thank you for watching, enjoy the rest of this time lapse, and I hope you consider subscribing. Take care.